today has been a little busy, but I promised to bring more information about the building of a budget. So it begins with stewardship, and stewardship can also, it includes more than just stewardship of finances. I personally struggle with the part of stewardship of time. Actually, there's 3 different things that can be included in the 3 main categories of stewardship. Number 1, treasure, which is the financial side. But because we don't want to store up treasures on this earth, we're taking our budget to a 0 level budget every month. Number 2, talent. A good steward shares his or her talents in order to benefit others. And time. Our time is one of our most valued possessions. And that's the one that I personally struggle with. But I got the idea even today that I need to budget my time. And in order to do that, because my mind thinks a different direction, I need to take my fixed priorities and schedule them in. And then I need to add in flexibility of variable activities. My life is full of variable activities, so I need to budget my time a little bit better. So anyways, I'm here, and let's talk about beginning our budget. Now, why do you suppose we should build a budget? There's a couple of different reasons why. Number 1, let's go to scripture, Luke 14:28 through 30. This is a prime example that pops out of the page to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This person began to build and wasn't able to finish." So we all have goals and plans in life. Also, did you know, or did you realize, this is kind of off the other direction, but did you realize that the top of the number, 5 different reasons people get divorced in North America is because of miscommunication, including that of finances? Now, if that isn't a reason, another reason to try to communicate is to communicate with your spouse. It's also very important to get started on a good budget and plan, to have a personal budget and plan. So I pulled up on the internet here, how do we become good stewards? And this was a very realistic few tips on how to get started on the process. Number 1, plan. Now, I'm not talking about, directly towards budgeting right now. This is how we become good stewards, and that is good stewards of finance, good stewards of talents, good stewards of time. So number 1, plan. I need to get a plan with my time. Number 2, know your purpose. It applies to all 3. Know your purpose. Don't spread yourself too thin. And number 3, stay balanced. So you know, we've got to decide what's priority with our time, what's priority with our talents, and what's priority with our treasure. Although we're not storing up treasures on this earth, we are taking it 0 level and advancing the kingdom. So remember that becoming a good steward is not only a lifestyle, but also a lifelong process. Start small and work your way up. So by building a budget, I'm going to take it super slow. That way I can also work in the meantime on building a budget for time. And this applies to finance. And remember, a budget doesn't bind you to what you can spend. It allows you and gives you permission to spend where the priorities are. And you are actually setting your budget up. No one else is doing that for you. So you get to actually build this from start to finish. So it's going to be set up for what you are able to do. So all I need you to do for this time is I ask you to get a blank piece of paper. We are starting from scratch. If you're just starting your very first budget that you've ever built before, just coming in fresh, I'm excited for you. I have built many and I have changed it according to our seasons. So, and I am going to, during this time, like I said, build a budget for my time. And I am excited about that because I've never done that before. Scheduling, I have pushed to the side because, like I said, so many variable things pop up that I have to just switch over, which we're supposed to also be flexible with our time, because we need to not be so set that we can't jump to something that might take priority. And same thing with the budget. You know, we have this plan, but there's going to be things that come up that we have to say, okay, now this is taking priority, so we need to shift and change. So anyways, on your piece of paper, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things only. This is going to be a lot, you know, different than what you've probably ever done, because I'm not going to just throw everything on you at once. Left-hand side, however you want to do it. If you're creative, make it pretty, okay? I like pretty paper too. But if you're just, you know, wanting the basics, which that's all we kind of need today, you can make it pretty now or make it pretty later, but let's just get some numbers down. And so on, you know, I need you to, all we need to do today is get your total take-home income. Total take-home. If you are single, and that's okay, write down your income. Total take-home income from every direction, whatever type of income you have, take-home income, you need a total. Then if you're married or have external incomes coming in a certain direction, get those totals. Write it down. If you need to keep your budget separate from somebody else, and that's okay too, because this plan is for you and or your spouse. Have them make it themselves if they will sit down and do it, because that's part of the communication. They if we can get them to understand how they're spending, that's very important too. Next, find all of your monthly expenses, utilities, anything that you have fixed coming out of your accounts that you know you're going to spend, that's a priority to you. Write it out. Know what you're spending. This is the time that it's going to bring everything out in the open. So it might be kind of rough, but it is kind of exciting to realize, okay, am I living within my means? If I'm not, then we're going to be able to tell at that point. If you're setting up fresh from the very beginning, maybe you just got your first job, I am so happy for you. That's an exciting time in life. Need to start by knowing what your full take-home pay is to see where you even need to start. And then whatever expenses, like I said, fixed, we're going to break down percentages of what Dave Ramsey, suggests on the percentages of expenses of what, that'll tell you how much you can allow, or that we should think about allowing to take out of our pay. But the point is what's important to you. If you are ready for that responsibility of tithing, which we all should be, because everything in this world is God's. We've already talked about that before. And hopefully we will all have the responsibility and desire to help build the kingdom. We're not trying to build multiple kingdoms, okay? One kingdom, God's kingdom. We can each help advance God's kingdom. And by doing that, we are helping others. We are helping build in the church. We are helping, there's every direction and level to be able to give and honor God. And that, again, it's not just finances. I will repeat, talents and time are all equally, if not more important, okay? But finances, it's something that everybody deals with. If you want to eat or, do anything, have a shelter over your head, you have, a car to drive, maintenance to be able to keep up, you have to actually face finance. And just like with all aspects of life, I know, budgeting is also the way to keep on a budget and a plan and a goal is consistency, like we talked the first video. I come to the realization years ago that in order to keep up on laundry for a family of 6, I have to do 2 loads of laundry a day And if I don't, it's going to build up and backfire. You know, making the bed every morning, that's very important. It's part of good stewardship. You're ready, you know, you're ready for the day. You're ready to get up and to serve and to, you know, face the day with excitement, you know, and doing dishes every day after a meal is so important. That consistency is so important, to be able to keep up and maintain. And so anyways, again, time, talent, treasure. So with that, again, if you will just start so simply with, I'm not asking you to break it down afterwards to try to actually put down, you know, I need this to go here, this to go here, this to go here. We're not ready for that yet. If you feel like you are, go ahead, but don't rush. Don't rush, because I want this to be different. I want to be able to give it our all. But also with a budget, I also found this 5 steps. Number 1, create a monthly plan. Give first. Prepare for life's expenses. Get and stay out of debt. And seek counsel. Now I'll break each of those down on our next little video. So we will continue with budgeting next time, but I would like to request that we prepare in finding and locating. Sometimes that takes time too, is locating what is even being taken out of credit cards, you know, auto pays, all those. Don't panic. We're gonna take it slow, but even locating all those and getting them all listed out is just as important, the preparation, as following through and working with a budget. So anyways, again, we're learning together, and I hope that we can focus together, and I'm excited to think about scheduling time. I'm always running 5 to 10 minutes late at least, and I feel like it's time for me to focus on my priorities. So let's do this together. God's helping us through life for the benefit of the kingdom. Have a wonderful day.